Hi everyone! Today's video is doing a comparison between an Usborne printed book and a Scholastic Usborne printed book. You can see here I have 3 different books. I have a padded cover, a hardcover, and a paperback. And I have the exact same book in the Scholastic printed version. So I want to go through each of these individually and share some of the differences or similarities between them. To note, I only have the price on the Scholastic 1001 Animals to Spot. I could not get a price on the other 2. Okay, so starting with 1001 Animals to Spot, the Usborne printed book is a padded hardcover. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell on video, but you can push it and it has a little bit of springiness to it. The Scholastic print is just a regular standard paperback book. It has staples on the side holding it together. This one is bound with a hard binding. So if you put those side by side, you can notice a difference right off the bat. If you look at the binding, if you look at the actual size of the book, the Usborne printed book is a little bit longer and, line these back up, just a little bit wider than the Scholastic version. The content of these books is exactly the same. The pages are identical. However, when you open them up, you have an intro page before you get to the story on the Usborne printed book, whereas the Scholastic just gets started right into the story. The Scholastic, you'll hear, is just regular thickness of pages. They're not glossy, and they're a little bit flimsy. The Usborne pages, you can tell, are much thicker. They are glossy, and the colors are more vibrant. You get the same page here and compare. And the vibrant colors are likely due to the fact that it's a glossy page. So the price difference. The Scholastic book is $6.95 and the Usborne print is $9.99. So for $3.04, you're getting a thicker, glossy page and a padded cover. Okay, on to the hardback book. So if looking at these books, you can tell there is a size difference right off the bat. If you layer them on top of each other, there's about an inch difference in height and in width between the Scholastic version and the Usborne version. And if you turn them on their side, again, there is a huge difference in the binding. All of the Scholastic books are paperback. None of them are hardbacked that I have found so far. The difference between this Scholastic version and the last Scholastic version is that this one is actually more vibrant on the Scholastic version. When you open up the Usborne printed, you kind of have a decorative shark page. When you open up the Scholastic version, it's just the story getting right into it. So the pages. So the pages are pretty much the same. They both have the flaps, and they are both pretty much the same thickness on their flaps. As you can tell, the pages identical. All of the books are the same content, whether it's Scholastic or Usborne. Flaps are exactly the same. So the main difference between these two is that the Usborne printed book is hardback and the Scholastic is paperback. And so clearly the hardback is a larger size. Okay, on to the paperback book. And I did forget to mention the Usborne printed Lift the Flap Sharks is $11.99. Okay, so for the paperback book, these are exactly the same size. The Usborne printed book has a much more vibrant cover than the Scholastic printed version. They both have a glossy cover, and they're both the same thickness. If you go through the inside, hopefully you can hear that in the video. The Usborne pages, again, are thicker than the Scholastic pages. And if you'll notice that the Scholastic, from turning it, that the pages kind of lift up, whereas the Usborne one, due to the thicker pages, it kind of goes back down and lays flat. Okay, so, which, since it does lay flat, makes it a little bit harder to do a page comparison here. And again, the inside, you have kind of an intro page through Usborne, another intro page, and then you get into the book. Whereas with the Scholastic, you're just kind of, the intro page is not as exciting, and then you're in the book. So again, the colors, the vibrant colors are so much better in the Usborne book than they are in the Scholastic book. They just kind of jump right out at you. I'll go through here one more and show the difference. But you can see there's a huge color difference through that. Again, the content is exactly the same. The only difference is the quality of the page, the weight of the page, and the price difference, which again contributes to how they are printed. The back are pretty much the same. There is a little bit of a difference between these two, whereas the others are exactly the same on the back. But the Usborne Encyclopedia, Living World Encyclopedia, is $14.99. And again, I tried to find a price on Scholastic, and I was unable to get that. So I hope that helps some of you decide between the value in an Usborne printed book versus a Scholastic book.